top 5 craziest HOA fines that will make you mad. It's something you don't think about when you buy your first home. You fall in love with the neighborhood, admire the trimmed hedges and matching mailboxes, and sign the paperwork that includes a quiet little document titled HOA Agreement. It feels harmless, like paying for peace and order. But for many, that signature becomes the start of a nightmare. These are the top 5 craziest real HOA fines that pushed homeowners to the brink, and in some cases, sparked full-on rebellion. It began innocently enough in a Colorado neighborhood with 6-year-old Ellie and her love for sidewalk chalk. She spent the afternoon drawing a giant rainbow on the driveway, with her parents watching proudly from the porch. It was colorful, joyful, and totally washable. But the next morning, a bright orange sticker was slapped on their front door. Notice of violation, unauthorized exterior markings. The HOA had deemed Ellie's rainbow graffiti. Her parents were fined $100 and warned that further offenses would result in escalated penalties. The HOA said that chalk set a precedent for unregulated artistic expression, which could damage the visual integrity of the neighborhood. Her parents tried to reason with the board, offering to clean it up or limit her drawings to the backyard. They were told the rules were not up for debate. Ellie cried when she saw the chalk tossed into the trash. But it wasn't just kids being targeted. In Nevada, Chris Adams was a retired landscape designer who took pride in his yard. In a desert suburb known for brown grass and gravel, Chris's front lawn was the greenest on the block. He'd installed a rain collection system, used smart irrigation, and even used drought-resistant grass. His yard became the envy of the neighborhood. Then came the violation: excessive lawn vibrancy, community disruption. He was fined $350 for having a lawn not in compliance with average appearance standards. The HOA told him that the contrast between his lush grass and his neighbor's dry lawns created visual imbalance and unrealistic expectations. He appealed. They doubled the fine. It wasn't about water use. It was about conformity. Then came the flamingo. In a Florida senior community, Mike and Carla Wilson placed a single pink flamingo in their flower bed, a gift from their late daughter, who had always joked about growing old with flamingos. The bird wasn't flashy, just a small plastic ornament tucked between the roses. But the HOA had rules: no yard animals or unapproved decorations. Within 3 days, the Wilsons received a $500 fine. They explained the sentimental value. The board didn't care. Every day the flamingo remained, they were fined an additional $100. Neighbors started noticing. A few quietly added their own flamingos in solidarity. The HOA retaliated by issuing mass fines to anyone participating in the flamingo protest. The Wilsons were eventually forced to remove the decoration, not because they agreed, but because the fines reached over $2,000 and they couldn't keep up. Things escalated in Texas with the Ramirez family's holiday spirit. Each year, the Ramirezes lit up their home with a modest string of white lights the day after Thanksgiving, a tradition passed down from their grandparents. In 2022, a new HOA board decided to enforce a long-forgotten bylaw. Seasonal decorations may only be displayed between December 15th and January 5th. They were hit with a $1,200 fine. When they refused to remove the lights, the HOA hired a contractor to take them down, without consent. A neighbor recorded the entire thing. The video showed workers ripping down decorations while the Ramirezes were at the grocery store. The clip went viral. Outraged viewers flooded the HOA's social media pages, but the damage was done. The lights were gone. The joy was stolen. And finally, the most outrageous fine of them all. Jack Dawson, a retired Marine Corps officer in North Carolina, had installed a flagpole in his front yard to fly the American flag. It was a symbol of his service, his pride, and the country he had risked his life to defend. The HOA said the pole was an unauthorized vertical structure and hit him with a $250 fine. Jack refused. The fine jumped to $500, then $1,000. He received threats of legal action. Then, one night, Jack's security cameras captured a group of 5 men in HOA polos entering his yard at 2 a.m. with tools. They tried to saw down the flagpole. Jack, watching from inside, rushed out and confronted them. They fled. The footage made it to the local news. Veterans groups rallied behind him. Legal experts weighed in. The HOA backed off. A week later, Half the board members resigned under pressure. Jack kept the poll, and that flag now flies taller than ever. Each of these fines wasn't just outrageous. It was a symptom of something deeper. When small groups gain unchecked power over others, even the tiniest things, a rainbow, a plastic bird, a holiday light, become grounds for punishment. What started as a way to keep neighborhoods neat and tidy has, for many, turned into a system of intimidation. These 5 stories are not the worst that exist. They're just the beginning. Because for every person who speaks up, there are 10 more who stay silent, afraid of the next fine in the mailbox. But maybe, just maybe, it's time we all start pushing back.